we really determined is the wrong word. We debated whether or not we should cut out the 5 minutes in Teresa Catherine's episode where we talk about cats for 5 minutes, and then we decided to leave it in and just
Look,
add a
I think it is a
disclaimer.
vital part of the conversation, frankly.
I take care of so many animals.
Tell us
How
about the
many?
chickens.
I've never been to. So since I became homeless in July, every place I've been to, and I like house sitting, a whole bunch of different situations, all had cats or dogs. And a lot of times I was just dog sitting or cat sitting. And then here there is a Pyrenees. So a big
Ooh.
100 Pyrenees.
Yeah, the big boys.
Yes. So we're very good friends. So every morning sleeping on my porch or doing something. So I'm always doing something with the dog.
Yeah.
And it has cats bigger, a little tiny kitten who got vanquished from the house for peeing all over the couch. And now the little kitten lives in the backyard with the dog, and they're like friends. They're like Disney friends. The little
They're like
kitten
Disney friends.
sleeps on top of the Pyrenees.
Oh my
You
God.
look-
It's like that Looney Tune cartoon where
it's
the
just-
bulldog has the kitten.
I'll send you pictures because it's adore. Every time I look out the window, there's like some hilarious Disney thing going on.
Yeah. We know what Jerry's next film is going to be.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
what is
Disney
The
film.
moneymaker.
what is the what's that called? Oh my gosh, The Great American Tale or whatever with the when it'll be like the dog and
Oh, American Tail with Fievel.
yeah,
Fievel
it's
goes
just American
west.
Tale. Okay,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, why is the name
Yeah.
leaving me? But yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. So and there's the chickens and there's little chickadees that fly into the chicken coop because there's these gaps. And then one time the kitten got in there and couldn't get out. Yeah, it was fine.
Goodness.
You're just like living the farm life in the best way. But the
Oh,
well, you're
Ugh.
back in LA where you started your career.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is it starting?
Yeah,
You
we
just-
could start.
I'm an open book.
You're an open book. All right. I'm going to read your bio because I think that's going to be a great way to launch into this because there's so
Okay,
much. Is it Le Dernier d'entre Nous? Is that how you say it?
Wait, I thought you were Canadian. You can't speak
Yes.
French?
Le de-
Which actually
Nous.
translates
Nous.
into The Last of Us.
Oh, shit.
Well,
Okay.
you can sue. I'm kidding.
Here we go. Gary Decker is the writer and director of the award-winning French New Wave horror film.
Le Dernier entre nous. Right?
Nice.
Excellent. Superb.
Excellent. Which
Tra-
means The
tra-
Last of Us. As well as the upcoming crime drama Cul-De-Sac. Gary graduated from Cal Arts with a BFA in film and has also studied at the Writing Institute at Sarah Lawrence College. After college, he spent 4 years writing for the A&E Biography. Decker continued to write and edit a variety of shows for the History Channel, the Travel Channel, the Outdoor Channel, and TLC before moving to Original Productions, producers of Deadliest Catch, Storage Wars, and Ice Road Truckers. At Original Productions, Decker was a series producer of the hit Discovery shows Lobster Wars, Swords, and Verminators, the NBC reality series Shark U, and National Geographic's Wild Justice. In 2011, while at Gurney Productions, Decker produced the special effects reality series Monster Man for SyFy before accepting the position of executive producer of series at National Geographic Television. There he oversaw series such as To Catch a Smuggler, Inside Combat Rescue, Inside Secret America, and Top Secret Sites. Relocating to New York City, Decker began a relationship with ITV Studios, running the hit Animal Planet series Rocky Mountain Bounty Hunters for 2 seasons. And since then, he has directed a variety of nonfiction series for Discovery, National Geographic, and Netflix. Welcome to Gatecrashers.
Oh, thank you. I didn't know. I don't think I wrote that. I don't know what that came from.
This was on your IMDb?
I don't remember a lot of that. That goes back.
Jerry, you're a spring chicken in this industry here.
I'm in that thing where I have I have too much experience to be useful.
Well, tell us. You went to LA, or when did actually? I want to ask this first. When did the creative bug for you hit? When did you know this is what you wanted to do?
Oh, forever. I mean, as long as I remember, because I always loved movies and books and things like that. And probably like in junior high school, I started writing. So I was writing a lot of short stories. And oh my God, I used to, and I guess I just had I had an outsized idea of what I was actually accomplishing because I was at that time you could submit to different magazines. and I was where everybody was reading stuff, so I'd submit stories to Playboy and to, like, the Omni and the New Yorker and the Atlantic. I was literally I
Did
would
they run
submit.
anything?
No, they were all everyone was rejected, but back then you got, like, a physical letter rejecting you. So I used to save them, so you'd have, like, I mean, the letter had they're all New York, addresses,
Oh, I
Playboy,
love
and yeah,
that.
the Atlantic, the New Yorkers, like, I was
Oh,
like, "Yeah, this is great, this is how you
a
start."
gallery wall of
I'm, like,
rejection
Yes.
letters.
14 years old, and I'm sending these really pretty bad stories.
14.
Yeah,
That's
and then I started
amazing.
making movies. Because yeah, I think we moved from outside Detroit to outside Flint, Michigan.
Mhm.
And,
Mm,
I met these people who were making movies, they had Super 8 cameras and stuff, so I got a
Wow.
Super 8 camera right away when I was 15, and then that's all I did in high school.
amazing. I'm actually getting a Super 8 this week.
Like a film camera?
Yeah, one of the
I know
instructors
people
at
who use
SVA
those.
is
Yeah.
selling one of his old ones, and we were chatting about them, so he was like, "I'll sell it to you," and I was like,
There's, yeah, the options, alright, because you can send it in, they'll develop it, they'll,
"Yeah."
digitize it,
Yeah, and
and
there's a
then you
couple places around the
file.
city that still do it, so,
Yeah, I mean, you're in New York, so there's definitely
yeah, it makes it a little
some.
easy.
Do you
So
remember what
fun.
your first little film was you made with it? Like, what it was about?
It was the blob that ate the family.
The
It was,
Blob or the Blop?
Blob, like, 'cause I like the blob I like
Fabulous.
those horror movies, and I had a beanbag chair,
Yes,
so
yeah.
I put, like, googly eyes on it, and then there would be, like, my dad or my mom would be doing something, and then they would go scream, and I would throw the beanbag chair on them, and then I would cut to just the beanbag chair, so it looks like it ate them, and that was the whole thing.
I love that so much.
I love that.
Do you have footage of this anywhere? Did you
I don't
digitize it
know,
ever?
I've been, data wrangling for a while here because my old computer broke down,
Mm,
and New York was getting a bunch of hard drives, so I'm managing
yeah.
footage because I have old hard drives, I gotta move it to newer ones, and I
Oh
do have an
gosh, that
art
would be
yeah,
so
one.
fun to find.
Heck
I
yeah.
don't I don't know, like, I don't know, it would ruin my reputation.
No, it's so charming. I
No.
love
That
it.
That's
was
so
yeah,
good.
that was based on, obviously, The Blob.
The Blob.
If you weren't running around your house or a parking lot with a camera, what were you doing in your teens, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's all I did, like, yeah, I was writing and being a delinquent in junior high school, and then I just made movies, and then,
So nothing's changed.
Yeah.
nothing changed. I think I had a job back then, but
I love it.
So what was the journey then to school and then why LA?
well, I mean, that's where the
Mm,
business is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think when you grow up, in Detroit, like, I think because you can go to New York or LA, I don't think you're in Detroit, you're going, "You know what? I'm gonna go someplace that's maybe worse than this." It's colder, it's just like, no, you want sunshine. So, you fetishize, Southern California,
so
so
valid.
that's your whole goal. Yeah, it took a while. I did because I went to school in Lansing first. They have a community college that had a really good film program.
Yeah.
Ooh.
In terms of, like, it had you hands-on, like, we had a little television studio with, like, a pedestal camera,
Oh,
and
wow.
16 millim ever all the 16 millimeter equipment. Literally, I spent the entire year there learning everything about film production. Like,
Wow.
edit literally everything. And then stuff happens. I ended up in Florida at one point, and I worked at an industrial film company for
Ooh.
another year. All the stuff
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
learned in community college, I was able to do professionally.
Yeah.
I got paid next to nothing, but, like, every day I'm loading magazines, and I'm prepping cameras,
Mhm.
getting the lights ready, like, we're just shooting stuff all the time. So
Yeah.
that was it's
Wow.
like your 2nd year of school, like, in trade school. So
Yeah.
I learned everything about the technical side of making movies. And then inside, like, I
Yeah.
just made, like, weird little movies. So they sort of worked in balance, and then I eventually went to Cal Arts. So I got into Cal Arts. That got me out of California,
Mhm.
and, yeah, I was there for 3 years. I finished in 3 because it's so expensive.
Wow.
Yeah, so I just damned for 3 years, and then I was in California.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was your
Um,
first job out of school?
I was driving a forklift at a warehouse.
Where in the timeline did you do your feature with Klain? And
It
that
was
was his first
after
feature,
this.
not yours, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it's both of ours.
It was both
Oh,
yours.
was
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
it?
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
What
our
was it
origin story.
called?
It
This
was
was the
called
French.
oh, the French one, yeah.
Oh, it
Well,
was?
yeah, that's a long story
Fabulous.
because I shot it and it was all in English, and I never finished
Mhm,
it. So it was really and it was, more technical, like all the sound, all the
mhm.
it was just it took forever. Had nothing but problems. It was like a rough cut, and I sent it out to festivals. I got into a bunch of festivals, but, like, it just sat there. Nobody wanted it, and this is also going back to, like, how the industry works. And I was in probably a dozen or more I was in a bunch of festivals.
Wow.
And I went to
Wow.
all of them. I was in one in Park City during the Sundance Festival because there's a bunch of satellite festivals. There
Yeah.
used to be I don't know if you have been there, but you go
No.
there, it might be 15 festivals, and other
Wow.
I love
festivals
that.
might go there and rent a, like, cafe and just show films because everyone is
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
like the Fringe with the festival, the national
I think I was
festival.
in the I think it was the Fringe.
Yeah.
There was one called the Fringe Festival. It comes out of, I think,
Wow.
yeah. But yeah, so I got to experience all that. I had a, publicist when I went there. Because even though I wasn't in the big festival, there was a lot of people there, so, I got press, I got into parties, I got to meet, Robert Redford.
Cool.
But so when I talked to and that's back when you could call distributors up, so I'd call up distributors. Every single distributor had one question, only one
Mm.
question. Do you know what the
Oh
question
boy.
was?
No. What was
No.
it?
"Who's in it?"
Mm.
Yeah, and then the guy you say, "Nobody," and they go, "Okay." That's the only
Wow.
thing they were interested, who is in it?
'Cause at
Wow.
this time, Clayne's career had not taken off yet, right?
And he'd been in a
Yeah.
pre-title sequence on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That was
Wow.
it. Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
Um, so yeah, there was
That's
nobody in
so
the film at that
funny.
time. So you go through these sort of ups and downs, like, the festival is very exciting, and then you realize, it's a black and white movie. It
Yeah.
stars back then it was in English, so at least it was in English. The star
Oh,
was,
it was?
a black man. It was literally everything you don't do for a film. But it was a yeah, nothing about it was marketable
When
at
was
all.
it? When did you make it? Yes.
Originally, I think I started it in 1999, did I, or 2000? Maybe 2001? I forget when it was because it took forever,
Yeah.
and it was just
Yeah.
me, like, literally, if you watch the movie, it's just me, and, if there's nobody on screen, it's literally me wherever that is, and there's nobody else there.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah,
A
I
true
shot 16
multi-hyphenate.
millimeter. Yeah, it was in 16 millimeter, so I had the camera,
Wow.
I had 3 lights, and then I bought photo floods for every because it was all in my apartment, so I just put photo floods in every light source, and back then, you needed a lot of light because 'cause I'm shooting, like, 40 ASA, so
Wow.
you need,
Oh,
like, you have 500 I'm putting a 500
yeah.
watt bulb into, like, a lamp, and you gotta turn it off right away or else it'll burn the lamp up.
Yeah, it'll
Uh,
explode.
yeah, I had a whole thing I had a whole box of those so I could and it was like because it took so long, it took, like, a year and a half,
Oh.
Wow.
and it was just, like, this slow process.
But you were
Um,
doing it yourself, so you did what
yeah,
you could when you could and then kind of
yeah.
trucked along
What were
until you
you
could do the
doing,
next
like,
round.
work-wise during this? Were you in the documentary space yet? Were you working on shows yet or
Forklifting?
I might have been
forklifting?
was I working in the warehouse at that point? No, maybe I think this is maybe right about the time I started writing. Maybe I was
Mhm.
writing that. So I think it was writing, so it was decent money
Mhm.
'cause I think I got, like, $6,000 a script, and I could write a dozen or so in a year, maybe more,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that was back when rent wasn't that much, I had little places yeah, actually, no, it was I was working at, a place called Van Ness Films and writing biographies. Which was just
Wow.
yeah, I didn't
Cool.
go in, like, they would send all the information over to me, all the research packets, and
Oh.
I did so many that it was like I picked it up pretty quickly. Give me the
Yeah.
time to shoot
Wow.
'em,
Wow.
and they give Photochem, I will always love Photochem, and Kodak as well, because I went to Kodak and I wasn't even a student. I went to Kodak and I said because I had always bought my film there, and there's I think on Santa Monica Boulevard, they have their big facility, and you would go they have a store there, and when you were a student, you'd go there and buy the film directly from Kodak, and I went in, told them what I was doing, and then they gave me the student discount. So I was like getting the film was like half price, and black and white at that time was about half the price of
Wow.
color. So the
Oh,
film was really not that much. And then I went to
yeah.
Photocam and the same deal. They gave me because I'd so you do all the processing and then we telecinate everything so it was on video.
Mhm.
And they gave me half off on all the stuff, and I remember because I wasn't making that much money, and I would go in I had one quote unquote "colorist." It was on black and white, so there's this woman, and I would go in when they were closed, like about 7, when the regular shifts all stopped, and she would come in, and we would spend, like, 4 or 5 hours, going through, like, transferring everything to
Mhm.
video while you're doing you're coloring it as well. You're just setting, like, the exposures and everything.
Yeah.
old
Yeah.
fashioned, how you color a print. And
Mhm.
every time I went there, it was starting, and they treated me like a client. I got
Oh,
free every time I went there. I got free dinner. Like the menus would come out, and I would order whatever I want. My colorist would order whatever she wanted.
wow.
I got a really good meal, and they never charged me for any of it. So I want to shoot my next film in film and work with Photochem because they were like, I'll never
That's
forget
so
that. They were just
sweet.
fantastic.
That's very
That's
kind.
amazing. So then
So,
what was your foray into the documentary space? Because
um,
you wore a lot of hats in that space.
I
Yeah.
that was not my choice. This is maybe a cautionary tale in some ways. I was
Please.
so before I was writing, before I got my job writing, and after I was driving a forklift, I got into PAing because my girlfriend at the time, she had a friend who was I think a coordinator. I don't even think she was a
Mm.
production manager at that time. And basically, if you want to get a job in LA and you want to start being a PA, find a coordinator and say, "Hey, I'll work,"
Yeah.
and just work harder.
Mhm. Yeah. Put
So
me on the list.
yeah, so I got on. I told them I work. First, I always said I would work for free. It was a Goo Goo Dolls video.
Yes.
Videos are terrible. It's exciting because 'cause you're in, like, the set and you're shooting film back then, but,
Yeah.
man, if you're a PA, you're working 18, 20-hour days, and
Yeah.
then the next day I remember, like, you get there really early, and hopefully the omelet lady's there, so you get, like, an omelet in the morning, and you're rating craft service the entire time. Long days, but, like, you meet a bunch of people, so I worked and then once I did that job, I just kept getting jobs and jobs, jobs, because I understood how a set worked, so I could be a really
Yeah.
way, and I wasn't like
Yeah.
I was there to like, I would work with the AD and make sure everything ran smooth, and so I knew, like, when to empty trash cans. It sounds like stupid stuff. I
No,
was
but it matters.
No, yeah.
I had I had everything unlocked right from the first job, and I was never out of, line of sight with the AD, and I was always aware of him,
Yeah.
and so you could watch everything, and when something was needed to be done or something, they would do one of these, and then it always locked eyes with me, and then I could, like, sometimes anticipate, but just worked my ass off.
Wow.
And it was just like one for a whole year, I worked nonstop as a PA. Back when I think you were getting like 150 a day, something like that, maybe up to
Yeah.
175. And weirdly, I
Wow.
don't think much more.
No,
I
and
know.
houses in LA
Yeah,
are
no,
millions.
that seemed like nothing. Like $1.50 a day was pretty cheap back then. But yeah, no, I worked on all kinds of stuff for a whole year. And you meet a bunch of other PAs, you meet different people.
Yeah.
We did a Pizza Hut commercial in Hollywood with Mike Figgis directing with the entire Leaving Las Vegas crew because they didn't make any money on the movie. So he was doing commercials and hiring the entire crew, and they were getting
Yeah.
commercial rates. That was how
Wow.
it was like making it up to the entire crew. So like I
Yeah.
think when Quinn, I forget
Wow.
the DP, and yeah, Linda Evangelista was in it, and yeah, I mean, it was just like crazy, but it was good.
Amazing.
Commercials, music videos, a lot of car stuff, like
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
footage. Like there's a company that just did running footage for car commercials. So you go
Wow.
out downtown like with all the stuff and shoot for an entire week, just all the cars running. And then at the end of that, there was another PA was working on another weird car thing, and they said, "Hey, do you know how to edit?" And I said, "Yeah," because they need somebody to like to do sound work on this PSA that Ford was doing.
Okay.
So technical. You're probably gonna cut all this out, but I guess
No,
they didn't have a
please.
sound effects library, but, like, I would listen to the tapes. So I sat in a tape room and listened to tapes and listened for car doors opening and closing and just sound effects, and I would make
Yeah.
a log of it, and then I would take it to the editor so he could access all
Yeah.
this. So and it paid pretty well because Ford was doing it, and it was sort of, like, above a PA.
Yeah.
He was editing on an Avid. I never edited on an Avid. That was, like, a new thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I would get all the stuff for him, and I would bring it and just sit and watch him edit. Like, and I would like,
Mhm.
and he was cool because
Yeah.
'cause I knew how to edit, so I just wanted to know, "Oh, what did you do with that
Yeah,
button?
how
How
does
did you
he
do the
do
blank?"
it?
It was
Yeah.
just like within a week, I picked up how to edit on Avid,
Oh,
just based on
Cool.
watching him and asking questions. And then, yeah, it was just I was watching
Yeah.
him and I just imitated him. And because I knew like, oh, that's a cut. I knew technically how to do everything, like because just
Yeah.
cutting with film and Avid was a little more like film than the old video editing. Yeah, it was just a few questions, but it was literally a week of him kind of coaching me. And then I
Wow.
would go in, cut in. Then I got to a point where I could go in and cut in the sound effect.
Yeah. No,
Uh,
but Jerry, it is also I think it needs to be said, it is very impressive that you watched something just for a week and picked up the skill.
You don't need to know a lot. I mean, you start with a little, and this is, and then you start to get better. So if it's just like straight cuts or whatever, it was right after that. It was Christmas break, so everything shut down for 2 weeks. And the guy who was producing this Ford thing had worked at Ford for a while, and he collected all this. He specialized in car stuff. He had like a whole library of stock footage of cars, and he had shot 3 documentaries about cars. One was about ambulances, one was about fire trucks, and one was about police cars. And he just had the footage, and nobody edited it. So
Yeah.
he kept me on. He asked me, "What are you doing for the holidays?" And I was like, "Nothing." And he says, "Well, why don't you just stay on and then edit these?" And this is kind of crazy. I think they were like half hours. They must have been, because they were for the History Channel, and they had all the footage. They knew kind of how to use the Avid. And over the next 3 weeks, I cut 3 documentaries for him. Like, it was that
No
fast.
wonder you edited the feature so quickly.
It was,
Yeah.
it was not very sophisticated stuff. It was like, there was recreations and like interviews, but yeah, he paid me. I just kept on the Ford's dime, so he wasn't even paying me. He just kept me on the Ford job, so he didn't pay for
Wow.
anything. And then he was kind of that impressed him, and he had a bunch of footage, and he was selling these car shows to like Travel Channel, and I just stayed with him and just kept editing shows for him.
Yeah.
Wow.
But they were all nonfiction. And I just fell into like a nonfiction world. And then I just kind of never looked for a job. And then,
Yeah, because it's hard to look for a new job when the work is consistent.
and the same time, I met somebody that I knew from film school, not from film school, but like during that period. And she was a film student from UCLA. And we ran into each other randomly. We had worked at the same place before. And she says, "Oh, I'm working for this company, and we're doing these biographies, and we're looking for writers." And I'm like, "I'm a writer." And I hadn't done anything up until then. And yeah, I went in and met them. Same thing was the PA. I went and met, they were going to do Vincent Price. And I said, "I want to do this one." I spent like a week
Oh
doing
my
all the
gosh.
research on Vincent Price. So I walked in, I knew
Fabulous.
everything about it. I met her boss, one of the heads of this little production company. We got along really good. I said, "I want to do Vincent Price." She goes, "Wank is doing it." And I was like, "Oh, well, yeah, because I read her book, so she probably should do it." She wrote a book about him. And I said, "Give me the worst one. Give me the one no one wants to do. If you give me the one no one wants to do, I will do it. And I'll start on spec. I'll like do the outline on spec." And it was Andy Griffith.
No one wanted to do Andy Griffith?
No, he was Matlock. Nobody cared about Matlock. They were doing like John Wayne and Doris Day. They were doing big stars. And he
Can
was
we
a TV
sidebar on Andy Griffith for a second? Andy Griffith lived on Manteo, where the summer show that I used to do, Lost Colony, is. So for
Oh,
years,
yeah.
he did a voiceover for the intro of the show, and it's like, this is Andy Griffith. You're watching the lot. But like, he's like royalty in Manteo,
I bet.
obviously.
I mean, a pretty impressive career if you could look through it. But nobody wanted to do it because they
Incredibly.
just like Matlock. Who cares about Matlock? Or
But the Andy Griffith show was like
even
such
that
a
was like
moment in
so
time.
passe. And nobody thought his life was interesting, because it's more like, how's your life? Is your life interesting? So I used to go to the Academy Library, like in
Yeah.
Beverly Hills. They had a big library, and you could pull up articles, and you do all your own research. And then I wrote the outline, and everybody goes, "This is fantastic." Nobody knew any of this stuff. And then once I got that one, then I just like for the next 3 years or more, I just kept writing biographies. So I was doing both, because the writing was pretty easy,
Amazing.
and I could do both. But
Yeah.
they were both nonfiction documentary, and then that was everyone I met. And then I wasn't looking for jobs, and it paid well. It was pretty easy. And then,
Yeah.
20 years went by, and it's like, oh my God, what happened to the guy who wanted to make movies?
So was it truly lockdown and COVID where you were like, I'm going to make movies now? Like, was that the tipping point
No,
into you getting back into it?
no.
What
The
was it?
tipping point was like, I wasn't getting any work. There were no jobs. Nobody was hiring.
When?
Because I worked
When
through
was
COVID
this?
all the way. I worked in 2020. I worked in 2021, because I was in South
Oh.
in 2020, at the beginning of 2020, and I worked on, I think it was a Netflix show. And then the next year was in Singapore. It was just after that, nobody was hiring me. Like, I sent out, you contact everyone, literally, and then
Yeah.
it was months are going by,
Is
and
this
then I'm like,
because of
staff
what's
me up.
happened in the industry that so many of these channels have been bought, consolidated, aren't doing as much as they were? Is that what kind of led to just so much less work in this space? Or
I wish I knew. I think I think there's more, sort of big box storing of production, where instead of having a bunch of production companies doing spread the work spread out, Ryan Murphy does 100
Mm.
hours a year. Taylor Sheridan
yeah.
does 100 hours a year. They're like big. They're like the Costco of production companies. And if you look, there's these guys make a bunch of shows, and they oversee everything.
Mm.
I don't even know how Taylor Sheridan says he like writes and directs every episode of like
Yeah.
Yellowstone. I don't think it's possible. But still, it's like he's a big box store. Like, there's less work
Mm.
for people like me.
Wow.
Mhm.
Well, and so when did you move back from LA to New York? Or I guess not back. That
Yeah.
was your first time moving to New York.
Yeah, yeah. I was after, National Geographic because I was there for a couple of years, and then that was the most documentary, and I just didn't like the world or the space. I mean, it was paying
Yeah.
me money, but when I was done there, because that was a weird place. I was like, I can go back to LA, which by that time I wasn't really crazy about, and I'd been there for
Mm.
so or I could go to New York because that's the only places when you reach a level, it's the only places you can go to work.
Yeah.
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 So, yeah, no, I planned it all out. I went to New York. I went there for a week on vacation. I got a job, and I got an apartment. Like, I was all set. It was great.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year was
Yeah,
that?
I started working for ITV, and then, again, these once I get into a company, it lasts for a while. Yeah, New York, I love New York.
How long were you in New
Yeah.
York? Like, when did you move?
Like 12 years, I think?
Wow.
Like,
Oh,
about
okay.
2010, I think.
What
So
do
maybe
you think
more
there
than
was
12?
anything though about the documentary space that helped or informed like your narrative thinking, whether it was editing
No.
or no?
No, it was the exact opposite. The reason I was good at it was because I had studied, narrative filmmaking and storytelling, and, I knew
Mhm.
so I just
Mm,
applied those to nonfiction, which I don't think a
yeah.
lot of nonfiction people come from that world.
Yeah.
I don't wanna say anything bad, but they're not, like, storytellers a lot of times. There's a
Yeah.
confusion with subject and story. There's no
Mm.
so there's no because you'll say, "Here's a false there's this guy and he does this and that. It's a great story." I'm like, no, it's not.
Nope.
That's some stuff that happened. A story is a construct. Story is something that an artist puts together, a storyteller puts together. Stories just don't
Mm.
no matter what it is. You have to put everything into an order that makes sense. That is a storyteller's choice. It's not what happened. You can take stuff that happened. There's really very good documentary filmmakers like an Errol Morris. They understand how to tell a story. But if you
Mm,
think your subject is a story, it's not. It's a bunch of stuff that happens, and documenters you get a huge pass on your subject. If you don't botch it up and your subject is good,
mm,
people look for in documentary films. And I'm always
yeah.
looking for the story, like how are you telling the story? And it's like subtle stuff. But yeah, it was the amount of studying I did, script writing and storytelling and
Yeah.
Greek Greek theater and all that stuff that helped the documentary stuff.
Cul-De-Sac is pretty Greek.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh, wait do you hear the new one's gonna be really good too.
Oh my god.
Well, let's dive right in since we segued there. Where did Cul-de-sac come from? We came in at the audition process,
Yeah.
but talk to us about the lead up.
It was because I wasn't getting any work. And I'm living off I had ton of credit. So I was living off of credit. I don't even barely every once in a while I'd go do like a shoot for like a weekend,
Mm.
maybe a week. But it wasn't I was just like bleeding money, getting
Mm.
further into debt. And then when
So you
I
decided to make a feature.
I did 'cause I had a big credit line. I don't want to talk about this too much because it's sort of I don't know if it's illegal, but I had a credit line. And I said, "Well, I got a choice right now. I can bleed out for the next 3 years, or I can just
Mhm.
put everything into this film and have it be like a showcase, a resume for the next stage of my career,
Well, and I
going
think
back to the
it's
Mhm.
thing I
worth
always wanted."
Yeah.
saying too, like it actually just came up this morning, this article about, I think her name's Jennifer Esposito, and she had a really, like, her feature film did really well in the film festival. It's really highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, and like
Mm.
Oh, yes.
what was it, Vanity and like a few publications were like, this director lost her house because she made it. And she was like, hold on a
Yeah.
second. Let me actually tell you the true story behind this instead of this like clickbaity title. And she's like, I don't regret anything I did to make something I'm so passionate about. And I made the choice that it was more important to me that I told this story and I expressed this artistic vision and went into these rooms I wasn't invited in than to keep paying a mortgage on a house. Like, so
Yeah, I've seen that film.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
I don't know her, but
What was it? What
I
was
know
it?
that story. What?
What was the
Fresh
film?
Kills or something.
Yeah, Fresh Pills.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's about like growing up in New Jersey with a gangster dad.
Yeah.
From the girl's point of view.
Yeah.
Spare the IMDb search. We got the log line right here.
There you go.
Jerry's like, got it. I've seen it.
Yeah. I see everything. I watch a crazy amount of movies. So yeah, anyways, I go like, I didn't even have budget. I just knew I had enough money and
Yeah.
then just stuff lined up. I went, okay. And sometimes you need an end goal. And it was like, we're going to enter Sundance, which is everybody's stupid end goal. But it gave me 3 months.
It gave you a deadline.
Yeah, it gave me a deadline. In 3 months, I thought, well, that's enough time
Wow.
to do the film. So I got whiteboard, like a calendar whiteboard, and I wrote the entire schedule out up until then. And then the first week was just come up with an idea. That was it. Like the goal is to have an idea by the end of the first week. And so I had
Wow.
nothing else. I just sat around. I did whatever I did and just you kind of open up your mind to things. And where it came from, I don't know. All I know is like sometimes like a movie starts to play in your head. And it was the very first shot of the film that came into my head. Just that shot.
Okay.
And then
This is
the
the
shot
car,
itself
right?
is something of a mystery. There's something going on there. I'm like, because there's people in the car, they're wearing animal masks. Somebody doesn't have a mask. They're like this just blank thing. And then I go, oh, they're kidnapping this person. And I was like, okay, well, what happens next? What happens next? And then, I just kept, that's all I did. It wasn't like I even made it happen. I just kept going, what's next? What's
you
next?
told yourself the story first.
Yeah. I just followed it. And there was enough just in that first image. There's enough there because also, okay, this is a kidnapping. Okay, let's follow this kidnapping. Also, there is a reveal. Everyone is masked. There's going to be a moment when each one of them is going to be unmasked, and you're going to learn about them and be surprised by who they are. So it had all that built in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why that. But I think if you just open yourself up and just go, hopefully, something. Although, sometimes I had a producer once basically ask me, how do you get ideas? I was like, I don't know. I don't think that's a weird question. It's not like something you can do. I think you either do or you don't.
Yeah.
Bring yourself up to that. And then having the training to know what to do with an idea.
Yes. That's big.
Yeah, because everybody has ideas and sometimes they're great. But if you don't have the training and understand how to make it into something people want to watch, it's just wasted.
Yeah. And all of Cul-De-Sac hinges on suspense and the tension and which you create so well.
Oh God, yeah.
I like all the scenes almost be a cliffhanger at the end. Like
Yeah.
even I'm writing a script right now, and like when I'm writing, I don't outline everything. I sort of just think about it for a while, and sort of until I feel like, oh, it's there. It's like a movie. You go see a movie, and there's a trailer for a movie.
Yeah.
Not the whole movie, but there's a movie there.
Yeah.
So it's a little like that. Once I know there's a movie there, then I can, and then I just start writing it. Let it just happen.
Yeah,
I
fix
read
it.
it in my head and describe what's happening. Besides all the structural stuff, I look at the first page and it's got to end with a cliffhanger. Almost every page should be a kind of cliffhanger, and it gets less, especially getting to the first 5 pages. Like everyone has to be, you want to turn the page, and as you get more into the story, people get more involved, and then it's less strict. But even with the way I end scenes, like especially in the second half of Cul-De-Sac, like every scene ends before it's over. It ends like, wait, what's going to wait?
Yeah, you aren't playing it to the last possible moment. You wouldn't want to continue. You leave it on that.
Yeah. Everyone is like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And I always think about this. I think there's mediocre stories and films, like, and there's so much mediocre stuff going on right now.
Whole industry. What?
Bad stories, bad films, and really great ones. And I thought, like, if you're watching a movie and you know what's going on and you know what's going to happen, that's a pretty mediocre story. that can probably happen in the background. You're not really that engaged. And if
Yeah,
you're
second
watching a
screen.
movie, if you're watching a movie, you have no idea what's going on. That's
Yeah.
a terrible story. And a lot of people say, "Wait, like it's suspenseful. Like nobody knows what's happening." I just find it irritating, and I don't think it's a good story. But if you're watching a movie and you have no idea what's going to happen next, that's a great story. 'Cause that's going, "Oh my god, I want to know what's happening next." And you're kind of you're going, you know what's happening, but you have no idea where it's going. But you want to know.
Yeah.
I think I always try to you always try to do that last thing. There's all sorts of tricks. Yeah. Again,
Yeah.
learning your
Well,
craft.
how was it for you essentially finishing the first version of the story and then reapproaching it later, years later? How was it to kind of finish your own story or like tell yourself, wait, it's not over. How do I make it more? How was that for you?
It was so dense and it left so many questions. It was very specific and it was very claustrophobic because we're never out of that house. And we're always finding what's going on in that house. And then the same thing, what happens next? We already, Kat, you helped me with the first part because you told me because in the original, there's like 8 hours or 10 hours missing.
Yeah.
And then Kat's prompt.
I knew right away. I know exactly what was
okay,
happening.
now he went and did something. It's like, okay, what does she do? She has to go to work. I don't want to give away anything, but you had things that you had to do and things you wanted to do on that day.
Yeah.
And we did that. And then when it ends, since we've introduced these other two characters, they are now involved. And essentially the whole movie is just 2 days.
Yeah.
And the original structurally was like 2 acts. It's a long short film, but like it was 2 acts.
Yeah.
And then the next one was like 3 acts. And or if you bifurcate it, so every story is divided into 2. Like the first half is crime and the second half is punishment.
Yeah. 2
'cause
shitty days.
Tension in the most mundane things the next day. And I don't like to say mundane, but everything is tensed during the next day. Every single thing that happened. Because of what happened in the first half. And it felt, again, I just said, okay, what are you doing? What's going on? What do you do now? And luckily I knew all you and I knew how to bring it. Yeah, I just followed the story to its logical conclusion.
Yeah.
When did you know you had to finish it or do, a third act?
When it was too short to sell and too long to really play at any film festivals. That was the key. That was the key.
And I think it says something that you received that feedback and instead of starting over with something else, you were like, no, this story is worthwhile. I just have to add to it.
Yeah.
Like it says something.
I sure do. Like I had a producer friend who said, "This is great. You need to make it longer." He said, "You got to have some stunt casting. You have to have a star."
Yeah.
And he was thinking like, "Okay, the big star and just have him come in for one day and then you put him on the poster." It was like, "Okay, well, I don't want to do that." But let me bring somebody in. And then now this is where Makayla comes in.
I know. Connecting the dots. Always connecting the dots.
I figured, originally I thought the other one had so much in it. It was so meaty. It was like, oh, well, not that we would finish that, but I could sell another movie and stuff. It's the making of the movie is sort of irrelevant in the business. It's the selling of the movie. You get to make another movie, not because you can make a movie. It's because you can sell a movie. And that's just economics. That's the next stage. I don't get to make another movie right now because I made a movie, no matter how many festivals it's in, no matter how much everyone loves it. I get to make another movie when we sell this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew so I made it longer and I wrote a really meaty part for a male lead.
What a part.
Yeah, so because if you attract a name talent, you want to give them something.
Yeah.
They're excited
something like,
about.
oh, yeah.
So I had done that. And then I was trying to find people. I don't have a lot of contacts, despite all my, despite my IMDb biography.
Someone from Deadliest Catch.
Yeah, no, none of those people are helpful. It's such a different world. And also there's a animosity, I think. They're like, when you say, I want to make a feature film, they're like, who do you think you are? You're better than us? So I know I used to go to Red Hook and skateboard over there, and I used to carry a script with me that said for Michael Shannon, because I thought Michael Shannon would be great. But I'm never I can't get to him, but I know he lives in Red Hook, so if I'm in Red Hook and I see him,
I'll just leave it on every park bench and see if he calls.
Yeah.
So I walk around Venice Beach and I'm like, Margot Robbie's got to be like pushing her baby in a stroller somewhere.
Yeah. Print it out and write their name on it, like on a title page. Margot Robbie's eyes only.
Or I just sit in the Sky Lounge at LAX and I just put the script on the bar and I'm like, maybe someone will walk by.
Yeah. But obviously that wasn't working. Then Makayla said something.
You said something
Yeah.
first.
Oh, what did I say?
You said you sent me your first. We were talking about distribution and you told me about this other film you had made.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And first we were talking about like distribution. And then you were like, oh, yeah, this was Clayne Crawford's first film. I was
Right.
like, Jerry.
Jerry.
I'm like,
I'm thinking,
maybe you're just lucky you cast a person who, like, my mom and I were both obsessed with A Walk to Remember growing up. And that was like our
Mhm.
movie we watched 10,000. I was like, Jerry, I would have to believe that if, for Kat and I, that's also probably you, but like the first director that's ever given me an opportunity, I would at least respond to the email. Even if it's a no, I would at least respond.
it didn't even occur to me because we didn't, other than a couple of exchanges throughout 20 years,
Yeah.
it wasn't like we were buddies. And I didn't have his email. I didn't have anything.
There's something about someone giving you your first shot, though, into the industry that you wouldn't have had if it wasn't for that person taking a chance.
Yeah. I don't know if I did
Mhm.
my career back then. I'll try to. When I finally finished film, so I originally did the movie 2001. 20 years later, I finished it. And it's the full, I put, like, it was in French. It was everything I wanted to be. I got the guys who did our music for the new film. They did all the sound design, all the music, and it was what I wanted. And it was playing in some festivals. I played in a festival up in Toronto. It was like the other TIFF, the
Yeah.
Independent Film Festival.
Yeah.
What happens when the other TIFF happens?
That's
So
funny.
I'm there for a couple of days. We're screening the film. Not a lot of people are showing up. We go in, and there's one guy who worked at the festival who went to watch it, and then there were these two women. And you're like, oh, do you want to introduce the movie? He goes like, no, I want you to who are you? Why are you here? And they're like, oh, we came from like Kansas. We love Clayne Crawford. And nobody's ever seen this film. It's like the holy grail of Clayne Crawford films because no one's ever seen it. And we came here, drove here. We went on a road trip together to see the film, and they're huge fans. Like he knows them. They'll go to a place where he's at, and they got pictures with him. I'm like, what is going on
He's
here?
so good with his fans. His
Yeah,
fans go hard for him.
Yeah.
they
They go
were.
hard.
So I had like a little conversation. So I started following him on Instagram. So we had a few back and forths because they were posting stuff about him there, and he's connected to that. So that was my only connection. So after you suggested that, I went on Instagram and I just sent a DM. Basically said, hey, I got this movie. This is the stage it's at. You want to look at it? And like a month goes by, maybe longer. And it's like, okay, well that didn't. Yeah, I don't know how I thought that would work. And all these women who are instrumental to this entire process. Kiki, Clayne's wife,
Yeah.
she's the one who looks at his thing and she goes, hey, do you know Jerry Decker? And he goes, Jerry Decker? Wow, that brings back memories. And he read the thing. He says, send everything over. So, I had the film. I had the new script. I sent it. And like within a couple of days, I just got a message back said, I'm in. That was it.
Wow.
And he also had been producing his own films. He left Hollywood and he's producing his own films, like very well-regarded films.
Back 40 Pictures, right?
There's a Killing of Two Lovers is great. You watch it, it's just like this little.
Ooh.
Oh, have you seen that?
No.
Watch that. Yeah, that's one of his films, and he did one called The Integrity of Joseph Chambers
Joseph
with the same
Chambers, yeah. I
filmmaker.
need to watch that one. Yeah.
The other one's better. The Killing of Two Lovers is a better
Yeah.
film. But so he has
Where can you stream them?
It's I always say the
all your
Canadian
favorite
one.
platforms, all your most trusted platforms.
I've learned
Trusted.
that what's in Canada is different than where things are licensed in the US. So
Yeah.
Okay.
search.
So he was in as and then he also wanted to come in as a producer, and he brought in all the extra financing. And we were super, super lean, like super lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's weird is this thing, I think the budget's almost the same, maybe a little more the second half. And if you look at everything that happens in the second half, you're like, I don't even understand how that happened. Because, I mean, we're in the bar, we're in the ambulance, we're in the hospital,
Yeah.
we're, so much, there's a violent fight. It's really crazy that we were
Well,
able to do
but
it.
the ambulance in particular totally speaks to him.
Yes.
and his connections and how he's treated people over the years, and that he's always given back to his community with like his nonprofit and supporting people. Like that was like a really lovely conversation to have with that hookup and
Right.
how that all came about. Is like
Yeah,
they just adore him.
and he's in the movie so good. Like that whole scene is really good.
I can't wait.
Yeah,
I
everybody. It
can.
was like it's
I'm gonna wait till whenever we screen. I
know,
don't.
yeah.
I don't want
I'm
to
not.
see it.
My background. But
Well,
yeah,
wait,
no, he
and
came
so
in. It was a long process. He had another film that
It
fell
was.
through, and he had these investors. And he was like, "That's instead of like." He's like, "This should shift everything over." Because he called me and said, "Hey, we're going to shift everything over here. Let's do it." And then
Wow.
there's all the thing where you start doing a schedule and you start hiring people. You start getting like paying for locations, like the mansion.
Oh my God, the mansion. That
Yeah,
was
it
big.
looks like a big movie.
It does.
I hope.
so what was you guys we filmed, you finished editing, you guys got to finish sound in person? Did you just redo sound
Yeah,
design? Is
yeah.
that
We
what
went
happened?
down to Technicolor and rented a room there, and I can't. So much was just favors. We got like all the grading for free. There's a young guy at this other place. I've been talking to them, and they were friends. These are all these
Wow.
friends of friends, and they're just doing everything for free. Like really, the
Awesome.
grade is really nice.
Yeah.
Wow.
David actually got to come in because they were in New York. Spent a day with the guy. We're just tweaking everything, so everybody's happy. We then Clayne had a guy who does sound design, so he
Awesome.
he did all the sound design, so he trusted him, like, brought everything, and we had conversations, so a lot of it was remote,
Yeah.
and then Bang, Brian Jones, and Timo Ellis, who do a lot of music for commercials and other stuff. They do sound too, but they did the score, so they did the entirely new score, because everything in the original was temp, and then
Yeah.
even songs, we got new songs.
Oh,
Yeah, we replaced all the songs, and
wow.
the new ones are better than the ones in the movie.
I can't wait.
They're so good. And it's just that was somebody his son knew, like this woman down south, and it's like haunting the stuff that she wrote. And she sent me one
Wow.
clip. I said, "This is it. This is the music." And then the other music went away. And when
Oh,
we had it all together, we went down to Technicolor, and Clayne flew up. He brought his son, who did a piece in the film as well. Also, he did the music in the trailer.
oh.
With an actor friend of his who knew nothing about the movie.
Wait, do we have a new trailer?
I can share it with you if you don't share it with
Yeah,
anyone.
Yeah, so cute.
Okay. Anyway, we're back. Okay, so test
I'm too
screening.
high up.
You have Clayne, you have Clayne's son, actor friend of Clayne.
David Barber, the sound designer,
Mm.
who is like, I mean, very, very accomplished, and people, everybody knows him. He's the president of the Sound Editors Guild.
Oh,
Oh.
shoot. Damn.
David wasn't there, so David missed this one, but this was our mix.
Yeah.
So we hear it in a theater,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
we can like tweak the mix and make sure everything is working.
I love that. How fun.
And then we were there, and we got there really early. We got our coffees, and we're like, we're just gonna watch it all the way through. All of us are just gonna. We'll keep notes, but we're just gonna watch the entire thing through first, and then we'll go back and do notes. And so we sat there for 90 minutes and watched the entire movie silently. And it was because I hadn't really seen it like that in a while, and I was like nervous through the whole thing, like because it was all tense. It was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, what's going to happen? And I knew it was going to happen. It was just like a very, not in a bad way, but like anxious. Like you're always going, oh my god, because everything is just bad things are just happening or could happen, and you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
I don't want to give away. It's all sorts of little things, especially in the second half. Like you just rent. Like I try to just keep dialing up the tension. So it's not like a jump scare thing. It's just like it gets more and more and more and more and more tense, and you just feel like more anxious.
Ooh, yeah. I
And
don't
we
know
all
that
did
I
that.
left my bed the weekend after we filmed. I think my body was just like,
you had some very intense stuff. And there's a scene in the middle of the movie that involves Makayla. And when it happens, the guy who had never seen it, didn't know anything, shrieked. Yeah. And I think me and Clayne were thinking like, yeah, okay, this is going to work.
yeah.
This is good. Because he did not expect what happened. And he literally just, yeah,
Well, that's good to hear.
yeah.
It's hard. Like when you know a story so well, you're like, well, yes, of course. But like
Yeah,
hearing,
you don't know if the tension is, I mean, you're so smart to know, like as a director, but like seeing it over and over again, I'm like, is everyone feeling like I know what's coming and you guys don't? And like,
yeah,
it's hard when you know.
It
Yeah.
is. I think it's always, you never know.
yeah,
And I was trying to think of smart things to say when we did this thing. But, like, as a director, like, even filmmaker, what is the difference between just the movie and, like, something that just works?
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it's maybe this is fundamentally the job of a director or a filmmaker is when you're in that world, you have to imagine a world so completely and believe in it so completely that it infects everyone around you. You're like
Yeah.
making an imaginary world that you 100% believe in, so much
Mm.
so that everyone in that orbit now believes in it.
Yeah.
Mm,
Everyone,
yeah.
the guys doing sound, the actors, like you're literally creating this imaginary bubble. It's like when you're kids playing games and you're a pirate and
Mhm.
you're like this.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
more you believe in it, the more it works. As a director, you almost have to have that imagination, and you have to let go. You have to let go of reality. You have to just
Yeah.
exist in that world because otherwise the world doesn't work.
Yeah.
And there's
Yeah.
no other tricks. I mean, there's all sorts of skills and things you have, but that I think changes everything. That's why you have actors who are great in some movies, and they're okay in others.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think the director just creates that world. Yorgos
Yeah.
Lanthimos creates a world, and everyone
Yes.
in that bubble believes in that world. Oh
So
my
have
god.
you seen Begonia? That's what
Oh,
I
yeah,
was gonna
yeah, yeah.
ask. Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm gonna watch it when it's not $10 to watch it.
I saw it in the
It's
theater.
on HBO or
It was great
something,
in theater. Oh, it was
Oh, maybe
fantastic.
when I
or
come back to
Paramount.
the States. In
I saw
Canada, it's
that.
like
Yeah.
10 or $15 to rent right now.
No,
We
it's
I know,
streaming
so
here.
they're both so that movie and One Battle After Another were both filmed with the same camera.
Okay.
It's a VistaVision camera.
Mhm.
Ooh.
It's an old format from the '50s, and, yeah, they both did. One Battle After Another happened, and then Yorgos got it right after that.
The
Awesome.
And it's
literal same
the
camera.
same camera, yeah, because there's
Oh,
only so many of them. And Paul Thomas
I
Anderson
thought you meant the
Yeah, like the
style.
same brand, like a Sony FX.
no, the
Wow.
exact camera.
Well, what
Yeah,
a
Wow.
one's got
busybody this season, huh?
Yeah.
it's a great it's a
It's so
It
funny
was
too, like you
beautiful.
yeah,
at
and I
the
saw them both
when
in
we
the theater, so,
I would kill to
yeah,
see
they're both
Begonia.
just mesmerizing.
Mm.
And One Battle After Another, when I got that finished, again, that's a movie that just makes you nervous the entire thing,
Mm.
and at the
Yeah.
end wait, that was 3 hours long. It's like 2 hours and 40 minutes long. It was like I felt
Yeah.
like
It just
it
moved.
went like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've seen it twice since then, and it's same feeling. It's just it's such an expertly designed story where
Mm.
you're never it's thrilling from beginning to the end, and at its core, it's
Mm.
just this superhuman story about fathers and daughters,
Yeah. Yeah.
which,
Mm.
like, breaks it's the kind of movie
Yeah.
where you cry at the end because they earned it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They earned
Yeah,
it.
I hope you guys have seen it.
I've
I
seen it.
haven't
I would
yet.
kill to see it in a theater, but it's not the same on my
It's worth seeing in the theater. Like, both of those
Yeah.
movies seeing in the theater, yeah, absolutely.
Well, speaking of, you're waiting to hear on film festivals, correct?
Yes, yes.
So besides festivals, what's next for you?
I'm fixing up the house, taking care of stuff. I'm writing a new movie right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, into it.
Is it
Yeah.
another film crime?
It is another film crime, yeah.
Yeah.
God, where did this one come from? I don't even know where this one came from. But, I started collecting it in my head. It was like, "Oh," it sort of starts and there's a certain point where it has a momentum. I'll go like, "Okay," or I don't wanna, like, know anything else. Like, I might know the first
Mm,
half.
Mm.
I don't know anything after that, but everything all the building blocks are there. If you put all the building blocks
Yeah.
there, the end.
yeah.
Or even you get into your 3rd act, like, if you've done everything right, the first acts are pretty easy because it's all set up. Like, there's so many things as long as you don't have narration, don't have narration.
Yeah.
Second act start to get back is like a conflict. What's in the way? You're just obstacle,
Yeah.
obstacle, obstacle. And then how do you get out of it? Like, if you've done this first
Yeah.
ones correctly and written really good characters, third acts are easy because you know who the character is, you know what tools they possess, you know what they
Yeah.
want, so and you know what's in their way.
Yeah. And so the question is, are they gonna get it or not?
Yeah. And like then at the end of act two, you just ask your main character, okay, what now? Because like tools like is your intelligence, things you've learned throughout the journey, maybe tools, maybe guns, whatever.
Mm,
You have all this stuff you've gathered in the first 2/3 of the movie to overcome the problem. And you know what
mm,
you know what the obstacle is, and you know what they want. But yeah, are they going to get it? Or are they not going to get it? Um,
Mhm.
and then you just go, okay, what's next? You built a world.
yeah.
Go, it's going to make sense. Well, if I know all this and I have this at my disposal, I think I'm going to do this next to try to get what I want, try to get where I'm going. And the bad guy, whoever your antagonist is, you've written write them just as good.
Is there a
Um,
clear antagonist in this one?
In which one? The new one?
This new one.
Yes. In it, yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Oh, because I guess the last one, I didn't think of anyone as an antagonist in the other one. I thought
I know,
everyone
which is fascinating.
were fundamentally good people doing what they thought they needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
There was no villains, and yet circumstances that put them on once it started,
Yeah.
like it was almost inevitable all these things were going to happen.
Yeah.
And everybody's just trying their best. And people do bad things, but you're no bad guy.
Yeah.
It's the system.
Yeah, it is. It's also human nature. It's just like, the question like what's the value of life and how do we assign value to people's lives, our lives, other people's lives?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How do we do that? And that determines like our course of action. And that's the entire movie is just about that. If you kind of look at it,
Yeah.
it's always
Yeah.
everybody weighing the value of life that's in front of them.
Yeah.
Which keeps getting
Which is-
more and more timely.
Sometimes that value of life is in the way of what they want. So maybe that's the antagonist. That's the thing every character has to get in one way or another, in very individual ways.
Mm-hmm.
There's no tropes. There's no character types. Everyone is an
No.
individual.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very.
Which is, I think, also another thing with your writing, specificity.
Yeah.
Be specific. People talk a certain way. It's got to be. You're writing an individual. You're not writing a character in a weird way.
Yeah.
Mm.
No, I feel that that's something that working on the novel for Mercy Cage has really helped is clarify the voices for each of the women in a different way than just writing the first version of the pilot had done for us. And like we recently did a second edit of the pilot, and we're pretty happy with it right now, but it was so much easier coming at it after having done these individual chapters and being like, oh, she wouldn't say it like that. Like we really clarified each woman's voice, It was
Every character you're writing something. Every character how they're saying the words they're saying, how they come out of their mouths, should be super specific, and you can only hear from that person. And every person in this movie, I usually when I write dialogue, maybe going back to like writing documentaries, where I was listening to a lot of interviews and transcripts, so I could see how people really spoke. The second somebody says, if I can write one line of dialogue that is so unique that you go, okay, that's so and so.
Yeah.
They can't belong to
Would
anybody.
you? So I feel sometimes when I'm writing that I am, and you kind of touched on this before, like you're kind of watching the story and then you're like, here's what's happened. I definitely commiserate with that. I feel like I'm watching the story and then I'm telling myself what happened. And so in my head, I know who I picture and see as the character. So I have a very specific voice of probably a personal acquaintance or something in mind. Do you feel like you have a casting, so to speak, in your head, but people whose voices inspire the characters, or is it more amorphous for you?
Oh, it's amorphous. And I did this in this movie. I always do this. Nobody has an introductory scene.
Yeah.
Everybody exists.
Hit the
They
ground
already
running.
exist.
Yeah.
They all I'm deciding is when I start their story.
Yeah.
So I write the dialogue very, very specific for everybody else because I've listened to a lot of people. I listen more, despite this particular podcast. Mostly, I'm listening more than I'm talking.
Yeah.
And I just know right away. I like write one line of dialogue, and it's just a little phrase, or it was like, okay, that's who they are. And again, it's like they already exist. So I'm just, like if you're sitting in a restaurant, walking in a Starbucks, and somebody walks in and starts saying, you can hear a conversation next to you. You might not know to see what it's about, but like, it's not like they just showed up and go, oh, and, they don't introduce themselves. And it's like, no, these people know each other, and you can hint at relationships. There's all sorts of like little, like if you look at the script for Cul-De-Sac, just these tiny little things that people say, and little like cat. I don't know if you realize you have this thing that you do in your dialogue. Oh yeah, I think it's oh yeah. Like when you don't know what's going on, it's like it's that beat before you have to think fast. Like oh yeah. And if you look, you'll see there's all these moments when you're kind of confronted with something, and you say, and it's like
yes,
that,
there's an entire scene that I think I just say, oh.
Yeah. And then Billy knows that. And when you guys are having a confrontation, you're doing it.
No.
And then he hits you with something like really, and you don't say it. And he goes, because he knows that you're.
For someone who is so incredibly charismatic, easy to work with, Lane can be the most intimidating person. He can make you clench in a good way.
Yeah.
Like he can, oh God, yeah, he's so
He was
vibrant
a
to
great partner.
share a scene
He
with.
was a great addition for everyone who got to work with him.
Yeah, yeah.
All you got to see was you didn't even see his body because you weren't there. Because you're
What?
smart, you
Oh.
say who works with Klain. But yeah, great
Yeah,
partner. You guys
rude.
knew each other. It was, yeah, watching you guys all work together was just great.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was
I
Well-
wrote
it was
I wrote all the dialogue in the second half. There was no ad lib in the second half.
It was, yeah, that was actually really interesting too. It was very different, I think, styles coming into it because it was
Yeah.
so flushed out in the second half, because I think we spent the first half figuring it out together and like really, like you say
It was so
ad-libbing, which
I
we were
loved-
kind of doing, but you really directed when we said what and just kind of like honed it. That was such a, oh my God, that was such an interesting.
I love that process, and you've seen that
Yeah.
scene. So, and like if you have more time, the only thing I always regret not having more time because you want to play more, you want to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Like I want to, even though so the first half was very little dialogue written. There were certain scenes that were written, but like we did. It was like doing experimental theater. But
Yeah,
as
I think
episode
I think it was like
it
6 pages or like
It was just
the
funny.
script was very short.
the delivery and everything says it just all feels authentic. Nothing
Yeah.
feels
Yeah.
like you're doing a scene.
No.
And then the second one is all written.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I think it feels the same in that luckily, I
Yeah.
mean, I've written so much, like I can
Yeah.
hear the voices, so I know the
Yeah.
Mhm.
We live in your head.
yeah, no, that's something I don't know if you can teach that as well. But the second this is me and Klain work together like really well. And like we work in
You
very much the same
really
way.
do.
Like on set, like how we approach things, how we treat people,
Yeah.
the
And how you
process.
communicate with each other is
And we
like,
never
I
we haven't
remember
spoken in 20 years.
I had to ask,
No.
I was like, do you guys keep in touch? Because it was, I mean, you were so close, like finishing each other's thoughts, really had a shorthand vocabulary. It was so impressive. And I was shocked that you were like, I haven't seen it.
Wherever we started, I think we both ended up having careers and we did a lot of work. And we landed
Yeah.
kind of in the same place because the first day we're up in the mansion and we hadn't even really spoken about anything. And he was like, okay, so
Wow.
here's how I kind of approach things. Like, here's where I'm at in my acting career and process. This is what I do. And he told me it was okay, that's exactly what I want. I
Right.
can't give away anything, but it was exactly what I want. Like what I try anybody, even like somebody who doesn't, it's not that experienced. I'm
Mhm.
trying to get him to that place.
Yeah.
And that's he'd been there. He's like, this is what I do. It's like, that's perfect. So the stuff we were doing was like little like this. There was no big things. And then this is another one. This is yeah, right. He said, also I'm probably I work a lot on the scripts and we rewrite dialogue or like if things gonna go on. I said, that's fine. Like I love that too. I like
Yeah.
to be open to whatever's happening on the set, just really
Mhm.
being present. Having said that, you can change any dialogue.
I know.
It's all word for word.
Wow.
Yeah.
And, I mean, greatest choice in like some of those scenes with Kat and him, the cadence, the words that come out, just the building of it and how the little tiny phrases and things like work. It's like it's like conducting an orchestra with words. And when you hear it
Mm.
works, it's like, but the same thing happened in the scene, the big scene in the living room with all you guys. Like the final scene of that is like a symphony of beautiful words. Yeah.
We shall keep people updated. Oh, we lost Kat.
We
We
lost
shall keep people updated when they can come and see it.
Hopefully, I won't jinx anything, but right now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Throughout this year, there's 6 more festivals that are meaningful that were 2 I still need to apply to, and 4 were already applied to. And I've already talked to one of the festivals and said,
Yeah.
we want to premiere there. And they
Yeah.
wrote me back saying, thank you. We're looking forward to seeing your film.
Amazing.
Anything else? I don't even know what else. I feel like I just talked about me the whole time.
Well, yeah,
That's the
that
whole
was the point.
Where do you want people to find you, follow you, watch your
No.
or don't?
There's I think it's the Film Crime on Instagram. I haven't been doing anything on there because, like,
Wait,
there's
let
no
me-
news. Like, there's no
Let me
news.
fact check you there.
And you're on Substack, right? You're sharing on
Yeah,
Substack.
find me on Substack.
Yeah.
Yes.
Also, when I send those out, I putting a share and subscribe button. So if you
Yeah.
like something, share it with somebody.
Film crime.
Film Crime, yeah.
A
So
film
you
crime.
can get updates there as they become available. And yeah,
Mhm.
I do right now. I'm doing poem of the day. So every day you get
Yes.
a little poem from me.
And I've been reading your stories, your chapters.
The story I did, so that had finished, and then I
Yeah.
unsubscribed it, so it's like it's not up anymore.
Oh.
So you had a chance to read it all the way through.
Yeah.
So if you need,
I liked it.
if you didn't do it all, yours is better because you have all the chapter things. I didn't know what I'm doing.
Me either.
We can help
please.
you. We
I'm
can
just
assist with that.
figuring it out.
I'm
Okay,
like,
so
I'm in my late 30s, so it's hard for me to how technology works.
yeah, you're late 30s. You're such an old maid,
Yeah,
Jerry.
I'm in my late 30s.
What do they
Well,
what do they
Jerry,
call that?
you know what we do in our late 30s when we finish a podcast?
What do we do?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Am I I'm not a tween? What's there's a tween and a teen, and then
Quarter life crisis, midlife
whatever I
crisis.
am. I'm having all the crises right now.
I'm having the existential crisis.
But I have cute dogs, kitty cat. You are?
Oh no, perpetually. It's
And-
fine.
Okay, yeah.
The world, the U.S.
Well,
Oh,
here's my love of the week. Finding something you love every week and that you didn't know you loved before.
What's your
Aw.
love of the week this week?
Curling.
Wait, stop. Ian just said the same thing the other
Started-
day.
It was on, and I didn't understand what was going on. But like, you know, especially you grow up next to Canada, you go over to Canada, they have curling alleys, and you're like, oh, this is kind of interesting. Had no idea how it worked. And then I watched the video and how it scored and how it all. And then once I understood it, it didn't take much. I was like, oh my god, this is the best
Great.
game ever. It's it's like chess on ice, they say. And
Oh
it
my
is.
God.
And these people, USA is in the semifinals, which is going to be later today. I'm going to be watching that. I wake up, I'm watching all the Olympics live. So I have
Oh,
Peacock. I
fun.
wake up at like 1 o'clock in the morning and watch the events live. And my favorite is curling. I love watching curling. I'm at the edge of my seat. I watch all the matches. And
so
it's so simple when you know what's
Maybe your
going
next
on.
movie will be on curling.
It's so much better than just watching people go a little bit faster than everybody else.
Yes.
Wait, also
You know what I mean?
sidebar.
As a
of-
Canadian, you would
is,
appreciate that.
Is archery happening in the Winter Olympics or no? Is there archery in the Winter Olympics or is it spring summer?
No, that's the Summer Olympics.
Okay.
Which I watch archery too, and I love archery.
Mhm.
But weirdly, there's so much strategy. It's like if archery, you could like shoot somebody else's arrow so they couldn't get points from that arrow.
Well, you
that's
could
how
if you're
that's how
Robin Hood.
curling works. And I'm watching right now, they're doing a mixed double, so it's one man, one woman on each team.
Yeah.
It's so much. That's my love of the week. And I never knew I
I love
loved
it.
it till this week. Yeah.
Fabulous.
30-somethings, Jerry.
Yes.
You're going to play the beat out with us.
right.
Oh
Say
yes.
it.
Oh yes.
Thank you. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to say.
We are gonna
Thank
have
both of
Jerry's
you guys. I love
Substack.
both of you. You guys.
Oh, we love you.
No. My audio is like
Work.
is trailing.
Yeah, you're lagging real hard.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, no, I
let's
love
do
you
that.
guys. You guys like both like tremendously helped my movie, and you brought it. You brought it. And you guys are gonna book once this gets out. You guys are gonna book like crazy. Yeah. So get ready for that. Get your head on straight.
No.
Get ready for the fame. Although I don't think fame is a thing anymore, but you will book.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it in the theater.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.